Hey, so I wanted to do a little bit of a live build here. I don't normally do a lot of these sort of builds this way, but um, yeah. So what I thought I would do is I'm trying to build out a tool so that I can scan a QR code, then I collect somebody's name and email. So I want to send that to Go High Level. Then from Go High Level, I want to be able to send this directly over to Skool, to the Skool community I have for building content. Gonna catch me spelling, but there we go. So that's kind of what I'm working on today, and just thought I would go live while I'm building this. So I have this Skool community called Content and Conversion. They have a link in here where I can share this link and then people can directly join. The problem is that if I use this, so let me just copy this overall and demonstrate it. Well, if I do it in the incognito tab, it'd be better because otherwise it's just going to say, "Hey, you already know who you are." So if I do this, the unfortunate thing is you get brought to this join a group page. You're not just instantly dropped in, you're put in this page. And so then people will have to click this button. They have to give first name, last name, email, and password. Um, and there may not be a way around this. I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe there's a better way for me to do this. And so I'm going to try uh, like three different methods here. So what method one will be is they have a Zapier integration that I see. I'm not a huge fan of Zapier, um, but with this integration, what I should be able to do is it says I can invite members by connecting Skool to like my CRM. And so I'm hoping that rather than sending this link, it just drops in their email and says, "Hey, I know who you are. I know your first name, your last name, and your email." Maybe they still have to create a password, but I do need to try that. The second way would be they have a webhook in here as well. So again, um, when they're added, I could trigger the webhook. Hopefully, um, the opposite way. Maybe I can, um, send them the opposite way. The third way would be to um, just bring them directly to Skool, have them fill out the form, and then I capture it on the CRM on the opposite side. I don't like that way because here's the problem. If you scan the QR code and fill out the form initially, I have a pretty good feeling that most people will do that. I don't necessarily have as good of a feeling that people will, once they um, wind up on Skool, I don't know always that they're going to register. And so the only other thought I have is that if I could somehow get somebody's email address, that would then allow me to stay in touch with them and maybe, send them reminders that a lot of this stuff is winding up on Skool. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm building through. Um, and I just thought I would go live while I'm doing it, and sort of struggling through the process here. So first way was Zapier integration. I am going to copy this, not going to share it on the screen here. I'm actually going to move, once I get to the automation, I think I'll just move. I think I have to have a paid plan here too, because they don't allow you to have, they don't allow you to do capture webhooks or capture API keys and things like that. I don't think on Zapier without that information. So while I'm sort of filling out the form to pay and all that stuff, I'll just kind of move off of that screen. And um, so there we go. It's old credit cards. I'm glad I didn't have that up on the screen. No, nothing like making it strange. So there's that. All set up. Okay, so I got the first part of that done. I think. Okay. All right, so we're going to come back to Zapier here. I need to create a new Zap. And this one's going to integrate Skool. Automated workflows. I want to connect Skool to Go High Level. Go. While it's doing that, I already have my API key. I think that's what I gathered here. Yeah, API key, which is really interesting. But if this doesn't work, like I said, I'll try a webhook next because that would be the next way to do it. And they have the invite a member to your group. So I'm assuming by a member, it's saying this person's already registered on Skool. Send paid members name and email to your CRM. So no. Send membership questions and answers to your CRM. I'm already doing that a different way. Unlock a course for a member in your group. I don't think it's that either. So I think it's going to be this one. But again, based on that, the unfortunate thing is, I think people are going to get invited twice, and or have to fill out a form twice. That's the part I'm trying to avoid. So, I mean, just going through the documentation here really quickly. Yeah, so they're connecting HubSpot, which mine will be Go High Level. That's fine. Shouldn't be an issue. Once we do that, I need to be able to send the person's email address, it looks like, and then choose an app event, invite the member, allow access to your Skool account with the API key in the group URL. So I don't think this will be that hard. This to me looks like it'll be pretty straightforward. But again, once the devil's in the details with the with how this works. So this one says new paid member. That's not what I'm wanting. So let's come back to this one and say, instead of new paid member, the only two that they have here is new paid member triggers whenever a new member successfully completes payment and joins the group. Or the second one is answered membership question. So I could tell you for sure that this is not going to do what I want. Because again, if I come back to this, I want to be able to give people a QR code in a form. I want to collect their name and email. Then I want to send them directly to Skool. And what looks like is going to happen is they're going to get this. Then I'm going to have to ask them to join the Skool community to get any sort of bonuses or anything like that. And then from that, they're going to have to fill out another form. Really, really poor experience. And then, the risk is, okay, so if I don't get them in my CRM and they never join Skool, what happens to them? So I do have a third option, which came up on the screen just a minute ago. So let me just go back to plugins as well. So, and then I should just outline the options. So the first option that we already determined doesn't work was Zapier. So first option was Zapier. And I need that font to be much smaller so you can see it all. 214 font. Who uses that? All right. Most people don't get to hear this editorial that I go with. All right. So there's Zapier. Then, so the Zapier was going to be, I send them off to, so Zapier was going to be, they register with Skool. And then it would send them to Go High Level or to the CRM, which is kind of what I do today. I mean, in a way, I could talk about what I actually already have, but all right. So there's that. This option, I don't think is an option. More shapes. I think I got, yeah. Get lost here. That's my fear, right? So, look, if you watch any sort of engagement metrics and things like that online, I mean, any of these steps, people can get lost. But the one thing is, if you could capture somehow their email address in the step, then it gives me an opportunity to continue to follow up, or at least say, hey, look, there's bonuses you missed out on, or whatever. And instead, because this has to be the interim step, it doesn't help me. Again, what I want is this: scan a QR code, go to Go High Level, then send that over to Skool and auto register them. I think I have a somewhat of a solution. It's not the greatest, but it will be a solution. All right, so if I stuck with this, I don't need Zapier, and I'll show you why. What I could build inside of here, inside of the CRM itself. So I'm going to use my demo account for this just because it's an online demonstration here. So I'm going to come to QR codes over here. I'm going to create a QR code. Actually, first, before I do that, I'm going to go create a form first, because without this form, I can't do what I want to do. So in here, start from scratch. I just want a basic form. Name, email. I don't really even need anything else. I will ask for consent, obviously, to email them or text them or whatever, just to be compliant. So Skool, QR to Skool. So there's that. And then down here, first name, last name, phone. I don't need phone. Transactional messages, blah, blah, blah. All of that should be fine. Instead of it being named button, I'm going to change button to register, to connect. Okay. So the first one is that. So now I need the link to this form. There's the link, copied it. And now I'm going to go build a QR code. QR name. connect to Skool. I'm gonna have it go to a website, and I add the link right here. So when somebody submits that, they're gonna go to that form. Here's the form. I have the ability to add in colors and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna make the dots yellow. Ooh, not that. That's the wrong dot. Marker center, background color. Marker border. Just want something to be colorful in here. There we go. That's better. Okay. You can add a logo in here. I'm not going to upload a logo in this case, but you can also have, the shape be lots of different shapes, right? So depending on what it is that you're looking for, you can make it be different things. Not going to do that. Click save. I'm going to use my phone here and just test this as well. Should be working. My phone doesn't like it right now. Let me just open it and see. Do it this way. Go. That does bring up the form. That part's right. Okay, so then the next part would be in automation. Create a workflow, start from scratch. When somebody fills out that form, enable autosave. QR to Skool. Add a new trigger. Let me think about this though, because yeah, add a new trigger. So when somebody fills out the form, form is QR to Skool. I'm going to add a tag. To that contact. That is, it's going to create a new one here. So QR to Skool. There we go. Got that created now. And then I wonder if I can forward them directly to a web page. Looks like the answer to that is no. So the only other thing I would do to keep this relatively light, right? So yeah. So I'm going to send them an email. And the email is going to be user email. Tag should be in here. Like that. Okay, and then subject. actually going to use their first name here. Contact first name. And so one missing piece here is that whenever they registered, they would have just gotten like a general thank you message, and I need to go tell them to check their inbox. But the way that I'm envisioning that this works is through sending them in an email this. And the unfortunate circumstance is here that they're just going to have to enroll again. I mean, I give a first name, last name, answer some basic questions. I think I'm going to move this line down here. Paste. Done. I'm not going to track clicks or anything like that. I'm not going to add any additional tags. And there we go. Save that action. And then, okay, so that part is done. Like I said, the only part that's not working then is so they get a tag, they get an email, and it's up to them to click the link to do it. And I guess the question is, I'm going to add an if statement. If, because essentially what I have built as well is so the action name is joined Skool. And the question would be yes or no, which essentially is going to be whether or not if they have a Skool tag. Contact details, tags, includes. Skool. So now it's at least going to validate that yes or no. If not, right? So the question would be like in this automation, it's like they scan it, they get a tag that they're trying to join this thing. They get the email, then there's a link. Then I need Skool to tell me, did they join Skool or not? And so the way I could do this, right? So inside of here, here, the answered membership questions, one of the questions could be, give me your email address. From that, then I send that, I add or update that contact in here. And essentially in that update, I'm going to add a tag. So that's going to be, this will be how I'll do that step. And so inside of Skool, I have to have questions that are, that includes their email address. So yeah, so that's how I would do that. I'm going to come here, connect lead connector. Looks to me like it's already connected. It's probably not connected to the one that I'm in, though. go for the demo account, I assume. Come back into here while that's weird. Doesn't even seem like my oh, I know why. Because should be all set now. Looks to me like this count needs to be added though. Otherwise, it won't work. This guy. Save. All I'm trying to do now is log in and having a minor challenge, but it will be done in one moment. It's interesting. It's saved over here. Still hasn't updated inside of there. Close that. Two. Skool API. Don't want to do that while I'm not sharing my screen. What I want to add in here now, I need lead connector again. Challenge I'm having is that it's not always seeing the account that I'm trying to connect to. So action or event will be add or update, contact, sign in. I think I just found the way. Okay. So it looks to me like there is a way to automatically just add people in by adding their email address to a webhook. And that will be the solution for this. And unfortunately, I can't share the screen while I have it up because it's private to my community. And obviously, everybody could just get straight in then. Just really interesting that this is the solution. Append emails to the end of your webhook URL. Just to like share the screen really quickly. So the solution for this problem is the following. So inside a Skool, so whenever I collect this, what I'm going to have is something, and I'll have to think about how to do this, something that has a way to just append text from the webhook back to this and then send it to Skool. Because if I do this, what it's saying is these people are in like Flynn. I haven't tested it, but that is the suggestion that they have inside of the what I'm seeing. Because this way of building this thing, I mean, essentially, what's going to happen is they get a link, they fill out the form, they answer these questions. I'm going to send those questions back to the CRM. They're already going to be in the CRM, right? Because I already have their email address. But these poor people have had to answer the questions twice. That's my That's been my struggle versus like if I could ask them like, "Hey, what is your name? What is your" in the form, right? So if I come back to the form, it's like I have to change this anyway. I do want to have these options laid out, but if I come back to the form really quickly, there's the form. If I had first name, last name, email, password, school password, the password that you'd like to have if you're not a school member, I could always even ask that up front, like, are you already in school? Or are you not? Because it's a pretty popular community anymore. Um, yeah, I could, have that, but rather than saying thank you for this, I need to say, please check. So this way I'm not, I'm just going to present this immediately right afterwards. You can add a Facebook pixel here, by the way. So for anybody that does want to track these things, it's a great way to do it. Would be just to embed there a pixel. If they're already in your CRM, by the way, I like to leave this on because that way, at least for whoever has already filled out one of my forms, it'll keep that um, up for them. You could change the styling for the form, right? Um, so anyway, yeah, that's that. I could have it actually fire off and just automatically send them over to Skool, which would be better, probably. Open Skool. Um, Let me come back here really quickly. I'm going to grab this link. And then I'm going to send that over. I wonder. Oh, you can't. So it would have been really neat. Um, is the following. So I have this web link solution. The interesting thing would have been so in Go High Level, oftentimes you have um, what a button on the right hand side over here where it allows you to add in text. So what what's going to come up now, so whenever they submit the form, it's going to say you're going to be directed to Skool, blah blah blah, and it's going to forward them straight over, which is good. It's not great, but it's good. Then once they're there, they're going to get this page. I think I can get it to display, but we'll see. Yeah, they're going to get this page, and then they're going to have instead of settings down here, it's going to say join. And they're going to have to click that button. It's another step for them. But yeah, so that, I mean, maybe I should have this say, instead of just you'll be redirected to there, maybe I need it to say something else as well, like hey, you need to click the join button, because if they don't, again, I'm gonna miss them. This is my whole problem. It's like the number one reason why I'm sending them to the CRM. So I'm kind of back to this message thing here. Please check your email for the link to Skool, because, and I'll show you why I think the email option is even better. So now what I can do is when they get the email, I can have the email go like this. Come back and grab that text from here. Just so I can show you how this is going to work. I got to get back to the automation. So in the automation, I'm sending them an email. in the email, then here's what I'm going to have. Instead of this guy, I'm going to send them a private link that already has their email in it. It'll look something like this. I mean, like I said, I can't display it on the screen because it would possibly invite a lot of people that I don't want to just drop in there. But you could see like right here. So the way I could write this is the following. Instead of having that at the very end, I would remove that. And inside of Go High Level, there is this ability to add in, I can't see it on the screen yet. To add in, why can I not see it? It should be like the thing should be these double helix or double curly quotes, contact underscore email is what I'm looking for. Don't know why I'm overlooking the button. It's not that. I have a feeling it's because it's right there. I see it now. So delete, it's right here. Custom values, contact, email. So now when it drops in the email that they put in the form with that webhook, they're going to be in there. So no more guessing. They instantly get a pass straight into the to the community. Now I have a feeling if they're not registered, hopefully on the side of Skool, they're going to check, right? So the only way to test this, I'm going to have to actually test it. So it's going to unfortunately be something I'll have to do while I'm not sharing my screen online. But um, this at least provides me a little bit of a path where people are they're not having to fill out a form twice. I mean, that's friction nobody wants. Is, hey, look, I just collected your email. Let me collect your first name, last name, and email again. Not something anybody wants, but anyway, so, but you know, we're building these things. I've got clients that that actually need this solution for a show that this one client's going to. But you know, just like my QR code to business card bill that I did a couple weeks ago, this one was one that was in the back of my mind. Like, how do I do this and not have a bunch of other tools and automations and other things in the way? And with this solution, I don't need Zapier. I don't need really anything else. I mean, essentially, when they get this link in their inbox, when they click that link, it's going to take them directly to Skool. All I needed was Go High Level, which is why I love Go High Level. I mean, this CRM has been phenomenal for my business because essentially we don't lose people. We take them from, hey, look, you came up here and you clicked on this QR code link, you filled out a form. With that, you're in my CRM already. I got you in there. I added a tag to you for filling out the form, so now I know who you are and how you came to me. Then I've got your email address. With the email address, then I have the ability to send off emails. Down here, what I would do is, hey, did they join or not? So now when I still am going to need outside automation for this other part, right? So the reason why I was going through this is I had these membership questions, which if I go, let me just come back here and look and show this. So if I go in here, inside of Skool, they have this thing for membership questions. So I ask, what challenges are you having with being seen online? What's holding you back? And then what's your email address? And the reason why I'm asking those again is so that I can validate you know, who's come in and who hasn't. Now with or if you came in from, the outside, then I don't have any other way of knowing who you are unless I ask it here. Unfortunately, Skool doesn't give me another way to find you. And so I would have to direct message you and all sorts of other things to try and get to a point of getting an email address from you. By the way, if anybody wants to join this content and conversion community, I'll post a link in under the video of me sort of bumbling around here. But I started with this sort of challenge. It was like, okay, so I scan a QR code, I've got your information. How do I send you to Skool without asking you again for your information? Now that I've got this solution, I'm going to go test it. I tried it with this one. This one didn't work. So the way that this worked was in Zapier, I have people register with Skool. I could send them backwards to the CRM. But the problem is, um, what if you get lost in here or you didn't do the next step? There's no way for me to follow up with you or even know who you were. So, unfortunately, this solution didn't really work for me. This solution actually will do much better. But again, I have the challenge of what if you didn't fill out what if you filled out the form, but then you didn't wind up joining Skool. You didn't wind up being a part of that community. I still have the question of why. Like, what was it that sent you away? Made it so that you didn't want to join Skool. Um, but I think I'm 99% there. What I would validate then down here is, do you have the join Skool tag? Yes or no? And if not, if yes, then okay, fine. I could remove you from this list. Um, you know, I could remove you from like an ongoing nurture sequence. But over here, I would probably send you another email. You know, something like, did you miss? Here, I'll just have the AI write in a friendly tone. I would to join my Skool. And click generate. Um, these AI tools are game changers anymore. This message finds you well. I want to take a moment and remind you of the opportunity to join our Skool community. It's a great platform. Like-minded individuals come together with insights to learn to grow. Have any questions or need assistance in the joining process, please let me know. I had somebody the other day, actually it's kind of funny because I have another community that I let people into that are clients of ours. And they asked me, they said, hey, could you just send me the video for the community? And I mean, honestly, I don't know how I would do that because if you come into these things, like, I mean, a lot of these, like this one only has one video for the interactive customer journey map. Um, but like the webinars that convert, I mean, there's more than just one video, right? So there's more things in here that where you're getting, other things that I'm linking to inside of here that I want people to get access to. So the unfortunate answer for people is, look, I'm sort of building this out so that you got lots of tools and things like that inside of the one community. And that's the advantage, I think, with Skool anymore is like, hey, I can build a community, I can build it once and then lots of people can come and use it. But the challenge is like, okay, so I want to make it easy for people to get in. And in this case, it wasn't so straightforward to me how to just get people in there. But now with that web link thing, I think I'll be able to just get people straight in. For anybody that's building communities, by the way, one of the things that we are sharing a lot in the digital spotlight community is kind of the journey that we're all going through. There aren't a lot of people in this community, so there's a ton of one-on-one attention people get. And by the way, there's a ton of courses that I built out. Some of this one's on Go High Level, which you just saw a minute ago, my version of Go High Level. I've built some tools in here, got some other tools that we talk about. So these are the tools that you get. In addition to that, uh, I talk about tools that I use all the time. And then some things on branding webinars, and then also on the complete LinkedIn strategy guide. And right now, the founders deal is outstanding because you get Go High Level and all the tools and all the courses, plus the coaching and an hour with me to help you sort of build things out. So to me, this is the way to go. Take me up on the founding offer, and if you want the founding offer, just send me a DM on LinkedIn or here on YouTube as well, because we're live in both locations. But yeah, send me a message and I'll let you know. Um, Hopefully this has been helpful to somebody. I know I struggle oftentimes with like these elements, and then it helps me to see the process that people go through. It's funny, I was interviewing a guy for a position not too long ago, and I was telling him uh, that to me, the most important thing for me to know is how your mind works whenever you don't know how to do something. Because that to me, like the problem solving process right now, um, is the ultimate sort of thing. And understanding how somebody solves problems today is more important than anything. And honestly, his answer I thought was perfect because he said, look, whenever I don't know the answer, most of the time I go to my friend ChatGPT. And honestly, I thought that was a perfect answer. It was honest. um, it was like it was an unfettered answer, and I felt like I appreciated the honesty, because there's a lot of people that would say, hey, look, I know everything, and none of us know everything. We all have to sort of struggle and stumble sometimes. And in this case, I thought I would put my struggling and stumbling live online. Hopefully, it hasn't frustrated too many people, but also, could be a benefit, because maybe, something like this might, be of benefit to other people, where it's like, look, if you do this, you collect somebody's name and email in your CRM. If it's HubSpot, fine. Go find the section inside of the plugins in Skool, then, and bring up your webhook, right? So in the settings it is where it's going to be. I don't know, this is the highest level here, but in the plugins right in here. So you go settings, plugins in here, and then you scroll down to where it says webhook. Turn that thing on, come back to Go High Level, build out your email so that when it triggers, it fills in that last part of the email. I mean, simple solution. Um, I don't really like the Zapier side of things, so unfortunately I spent 29 bucks. I don't think I'm going to use this side of things, because I have a different way of doing what it what I need from that. So I will do this a different way. For my clients, I may have them go ahead and fill out this way, because it's already built. I mean, this part of answering membership questions is fine. And then, you just essentially connect your Go High Level or HubSpot or whatever it is, connect it here. And then the next step would be watching for people that answer these membership questions. And once they have, get them into the CRM, tag them, do whatever you have to do. So that's that side of it. If anybody ever needs help with this kind of stuff, by the way, whether it's this or using make.com or N8N, we use it a lot. So let me know. DM me or send me an email. Let me know. I've got a booking link inside my LinkedIn, by the way. So uh, yeah, for anybody that needs time and wants to sort of connect and do something simple like this, I'd be happy to sort of share, what we go through and what we do. And then also, like I said, if you're interested in joining a community of people that are using content to try and connect all the pieces together, that's what brought up the wrong community. That's what this community is built around. Content and conversion on Skool was built around this whole idea of, hey, um, I want to have a community where people come and we sort of collectively can share a lot of tools, have educational opportunities, but also have ways to do that. I also go live like this every Tuesday. So every single Tuesday for the last, I don't know, month or so, I've been going live because this community is still fairly new. But I normally go live and try and solve a problem during that time. And this time on a Saturday, I was needing to solve this particular problem, and in this case, I feel like I built out enough here that I'm gonna sign off for now. Thanks.